If you're just starting out in your AI automation agency or selling any other products online, one of the most difficult things to do is outreach. Or one of the best outreach forms there is still at the moment is cold email. But cold email can be tricky, it can be hard, and some of the cold email products can be really expensive, especially if you're starting out. Well, N8N has an awesome AI automation, and by the end of this video, I'll show you how you can implement it for yourself. You'll have the blueprint for yourself, and you'll be able to set it up using Gmail inboxes or even Outlook inboxes and be able to send out emails from a scrape mass list daily at specific times in a nice little sequence that will at least bring you in some clients to start out with. My name is Altus and I run my own AI automation agency, and I love cold email, and I know it can be quite hard when you use the expensive products because I do it myself. But this little startup has definitely kicked me off to start out with and will definitely help you out in your journey. Plus, it's a cool N8N function to learn, and by the end, you'll be able to download it, import it, and just use cool automation tools like this. So it's going to be a fun little video, so sit tight, watch to the end, and enjoy it. Let's just get some important stuff out of the way. Cold email is truly an art. It's getting more and more difficult by the rules and the fact that everyone can misuse it and abuse it. But once you have it going, it's really set up really well, and it means you can do outreach wherever you can in the world. But there's a lot of things that goes with it, and if you don't notice, it's going to trip you up. But there's things like DNS records, DKIM records. There's a limit on how many emails you should send a day per email and per domain as well. There's domain health, there's mailbox warm-ups, then there's email copy, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of things that make for good email that actually get you in the inbox. And what you actually can get in the inbox, you can think about copy, which includes subject and call to action, and so on and so forth. I made a really good video. You should really go watch it because it shows you the ultimate kind of system. But I understand when you start out, things can be hard. So therefore, if you, again, you watched the other video, I'll shut this one off. If you just go get yourself N8N and one domain, so N8N you can get for $3 a month. I made a video about it. $3 a month for unlimited N8N self-hosting. Go check out that video and get yourself. N8N is $3 a month, and you can literally just go buy a domain, and GoDaddy has this really good sale on where you can at least get one email address for a year, and it's only $2 per email. So if you get one domain with 3 emails, it will give you 150 emails a day that you can at least potentially send. And now the reply rate and open rate from emails is always going to be in the lower side of things, so don't get discouraged with it. But the more you do, the more chances you'll get, and at least this gives you a way to start out for cheaper with Microsoft. Okay, so it's just an alternative way of doing things rather than buying mailboxes and signing up to a program like Instantly. And I really, really love Instantly. You should go with Instantly whenever you can if you have the price and the money to go with it. I have it. It works really well. It does all of this DKIM, email warm-ups, mailbox monitoring, doing your campaigns for you, because you'll see campaigns going to be very hard. We're going to do a lot of work to set up sending one email or say one email sequence. So we're not even going to do follow-up days for it. But you'll understand with this, and it's making my wonder. Instantly, super good, super good. So go get yourself Instantly, go get yourself a mailbox. And then of course, this is following on from a previous video that we do some deep research into companies where we get the company name, email address. We can get your deep research agents to actually give a subject and email to it. And this is just a GPT example I did 4 in a previous video, and we're going to use this kind of system and setup in here. So I've copied and pasted this over, and I've come to a Google Sheet, which we'll get to. But that again is from a previous video. And of course, the last 2 things, definitely go check out the 2 communities. The paid one, we get high level and all this massive amounts of free courses from, absolutely nuts and crazy to have, and then the free resources as well. So 2 communities, packed with a bunch of stuff. So that's out of the way. Now let's go start off and build out a similar system to this that is going to be able to send out emails. You can limit it and use multiple mailboxes. Now this works really well because it's in a linear form, so we can have less automations and we'll go one after the other, and then we can limit it, and it will all make sense really soon. It's just a different way of doing it. You would have seen other people doing a fork system, and yeah, it does work as well. I found this easier, but obviously one chain in the link goes wrong, then things can go wrong. But we'll get to it. So I'll drag this one out in here, and I'll go into my N8N. I'll start a brand new one, and we'll build it out all the way from scratch as well. So I'll go new workflow. Now, first thing you're going to do is you're going to copy your email list exactly like you have the one you scraped, and you're going to come to a spreadsheet, and I'll give you this one with these ones in here. And all this is we're going to copy the business name that is scraped. I've just replaced this in here with one of my dummy emails because I don't want to go for the testing and send people a bunch of emails, but we have the business name. You'll have an email. It's always going to be changing. We have a subject line that's going to be very unique. And then we have that hyper personalized message going to be very unique. And we're going to have a status in here. And I'm going to make sure I set all these to no. Now, you might see these ones down the bottom here. What we're going to do, what I'm going to show you is how we limit the emails per mailbox. Now, cold email per mailbox, you want to do about 40 to 50 max. We definitely going to do more than 50. It means you can't use that mailbox for anything else. That just means for this one repetition, so we have 2 mailboxes in this example, and I'm going to limit it to just a couple of emails. So it's going to be 5 emails I'm going to limit it to. And I just want to show, so 5 times 2 is 10. When I limit it to 5 emails per day, which we're going to kind of build out, you will see that I don't go over this email. So I want to make sure that we stop here by the end of this sequence when we build out. So ultimately, you're going to have unlimited or a massive 1,000 list of this, and we need to make sure we only send 50 per email. So you might have 3 times 5, but it's still going to remain 50. So you have one spreadsheet that you need to create like this, and then we're going to have one spreadsheet that's going to be our number counter, and it's just going to say how many emails is each mailbox going to send. So, and we just need to number them because it's kind of like a placeholder that N8N is going to do. So you're just going to replace this, and you're going to, if it's going to be one email box, I'm going to add 50 in here, and if it's the next one, it's going to be the next amount along. So I'll leave these spreadsheets. I'll add it in the community so you can download it. But let's go build out this one first. So obviously the first thing is going to be the timer trigger. So it's a scheduled trigger. So when is this going to tick off? Okay. Now it should tick off once a day. We should run this, and we should run this at 9 a.m. at least, or after 9 a.m. Business hours, opening hours, so it sends the emails. So the emails are going to start triggering, and it's going to send out one email per mailbox every minute, or just over a minute because there's a slight delay. And it's going to do this until 50 emails are sent. Okay, so it's going to be a morning type of email. So it should take about an hour or so to complete. Okay, if that kind of makes sense in there for you. So it's just going to be our trigger, what we'll have here normally. And I'll add this in here, and you'll see it just obviously doesn't run time zone in there. But we can just have this one in here. Now, because we're going to build this out manually, the first thing we're going to do is have a manual trigger, or because we want to test it, okay? So, it should just be trigger, or what's the one called? Now I can't remember what it's called. Click. Maybe if I delete this one first. In action. Oh, trigger manually. I don't know how I missed that. So we're going to trigger this manually. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to read the spreadsheet. So what we want to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to start reading the spreadsheet. So we'll build it out step by step, but what it's going to do is it's going to read the spreadsheet. It's going to see what rows are marked as no, and then it's going to send an email off to that one row. So first thing in here is going to be get sheets, and we're going to say get rows from the sheet, and make sure you have your Google account connected. You need to set up a Google account connection on in here for your sheets, for your Gmail, and for your Outlook. I'm not going to go through all of it, but make sure you're connected in here. It shows green and connected. And when you tap down here, so I called this one YouTube test emails, and you come down in here, it's going to still be get rows. Oops. And we should have YouTube test emails in here. It's going to be the first sheet in here. And so that just means we're going to load up our sheet. Now we're going to say, what's it going to look for? So we're going to add a filter and give it a second to load. We're going to look for all the statuses that says no. And this is going to be case sensitive. So remember that. And the thing is, we only want to return one piece of data first, because one email, one mailbox, next email, next mailbox. So it's going to hit the test button in there, and you'll see we got the first one, green edge landscaping, which is this one right here. Great. So we got some data. Now let's work with the data. What we're going to do, we are going to email it. So we're going to go Gmail. We are going to say send a message, and this is the email address we're going to use. Again, make sure your Gmail is synced up. The message is going to be sent. Who are we going to send it to? Now, you should click on expression here first, just a little tip. And then when you drag it over, you'll see it goes green. Nice. So it comes in here, it shows the value in there. And this is just mapping the fields to the data. Okay, so subject, because our AI smart system is built that out. We have that in here. And now, email text, another tip. First emails, cold email should be as much text as possible. So obviously in here, we don't have much of an opening. So I'm just going to say, hi, and I'm going to change this to expression, and we're going to hit hi landscaping business. Who? Green landscaping. Hi, green landscaping. We're going to add an enter mark. We're going to hit the hyper personalized email, and we're going to sign this off, say, thanks, Altus, blah, 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 AI agency. All right, and you can click on here if you want to see it, what it will look like. On the side here, it displays it. Okay, so that's what the email will look like. Will it work? So let me just come and open a new email. Open this in here, Gmail in here, and I'll move this over to the side here. So no emails in there yet. We're going to hit the test button, and sweet, it's send an email. So let's give this a second and see if this actually comes through on this side. Oops. Let's drag it through, and here we go. Email send, hyper personalized message, signed off. Sweet. This works. Okay, so email one send. So found a email to send. Send the email. Now let's mark it as complete. So what we're going to have in here is the update. So we're going to come sheets. We're going to update the sheet in here to say that it's done. So the next one will find the next one. So we're going to come Google Sheets, and we are going to go update a row in the sheet. And again, we're going to pick the one we just picked. And we're going to pick the sheet in here. And we'll give it a second. And what column are we going to look for? We're going to look for the row number. And the row number is what we found previously in here. So we have it all in here. Now, once we find the row number, what are we going to update? We're going to update the status to Yes. Now you can have that any way you want. Let's see this. No. Test. And we change this to yes. Nice. So that is how you send an email off a sheet. Okay. So what I'll do now, and I'll do the other one, I will come and add a note in here. Oops. Note, sticky note. You can double click on this, delete that, and I say email one, and I just need to drag this out a little bit like this, and I just need to rename the modules because we'll see where this gets a bit tricky soon. Sorry, I can just right click on here, and it's F2 is a shortcut, by the way. Sheet check email one, rename send email one, and you'll see once you build out 3 or 4, and if you're gonna have 5 emails, which you can get quite easily confused. And this is gonna be sheet update email 2. Nice. So this is kind of keep it all together. So email 1 is sent, and we'll send it through the mailbox. Yeah. Now all you have to do is just repeat that process for the next email to be sent. So all I can literally do is hit in here, hit the copy, hit the paste, come through in here, and I'm just going to scroll this, connect this together, and this is going to be sheet number 2. And if I test this now, we're going to see that it should find the next row, which is fresh cuts in here. And just for the fun of it, we are going to delete this one, delete that, and we're going to add an Outlook row to this. So Outlook is going to be exactly the same. You need to connect that zero authentication, and then we need to make sure that we go off and map out all the fields. So we come through in here. We're going to say who we're going to send the email to. So I need to say, rename this one, check emails to, rename send email to, and update this, update email to, sheet update, sheet update email to, rename that one. I guess I'll stay red, I'll get to this soon. I'll just show you what I mean. Now, when we map this data here on this side, we need to make sure we are actually connecting the other ones. I don't want to go sheet check number 1 because it's going to map the wrong data. So who are we going to send this to? The email is going to be 2. Make sure that it's green. Oops. Click that. The subject is going to be the one that the AI gave us. The message is going to be again, hi, fresh cuts, and then personalized message, and thanks, Altus AI agency. Now you need a good signature sign off. Don't put in any HTML anywhere, so we need to fix that too. Message type is going to be plain text. And you can view it kind of here. So what it's going to look like. And did I just shut the other email? I think I did. So let me reopen that one. Or let me just hit the test button. And this is true, which kind of means success in Microsoft's world. And I'll come through in here, go back to Gmail, and I'll keep this one on the side. And there we go. Okay. So in here, send info. So all very good and well. So what happens now is this runs once a day. It runs one time, and it sends through email 1, email 2. I don't know, we forgot something, right? Update that sheet. Update the sheet. We're going to go with the correct row, and it's going to be sheet check number 2. So we're going to make sure that row is mounted in here, and I'm just going to say test it. And fantastic. That's updated it. Okay. So if this was one day and you had 2 mailboxes, then that's all done and fine, and you're done. You've sent 2 emails. Whoop-de-doo. That's not going to help us out. So what we need to do is we need to loop this through, and we need to loop this through 50 times. Okay, because we're going to have 50 emails that we might want to send. So for this example, all I want to do is the 5, because I don't want to be in here sending more than 5 emails, which I've already done today, to this one email box. Someone's going to flag me as spam. So the limit's going to be 5. So what I want to show you is that we're not going to progress past 5 times 2 is 10. So we're not going to progress past here. Okay. Now, when you build this out, you need to add, in the blueprint I'm going to give you is going to be a wait trigger. You want a minute wait in here to drip it out. Okay. But that's all right. We're just going to stay with the 5 seconds in here for the sake of testing. Now, what we're going to do next is go add a loop. And the loop will kind of come in like this. In the end, we are going to delete this loop in here. Just zoom out a little bit. And all it says is the loop. It's just going to loop through like this. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to delete this. Where's the loop going to go? We're going to go here. Where is it going to loop back from? It's going to loop back from here, and we're going to drag this one down, delete that one, and drag it in like this. Okay. Now we're not yet done. Now all this says is once we're done here, loop back down this way, and the amount of time it's going to loop is for one batch of time. Okay. One time it's going to loop through, because it does one batch. There's not going to be extra batches. By batches, I mean that when we scan this file, it creates a numeric value, and you see, you will remember here, the items we find, items equals batches. So if there was more than one in here, so if I would say this for a second and just say test this step, you'll see that it finds 16. Okay. So those are 16 batches. Because I only want one, I'm just going to say test 1. And it's only going to show us one batch. So that's just a way. Don't overthink about it, but we want to give the loop a number. Okay. And the number we need to give it is going to come from our spreadsheet. So at the moment, we'll just have number 1. So we'll just loop through one time. All I want to do is do the same thing as we did here. In fact, we'll go in here. We'll hit the copy button. And then we'll hit the duplicate button. Come through in here. Disconnect that one. Loop in this one. And loop this one through. So for this, I want to look in this page. So I'm going to come through or sheet. And I'm going to say the limit per mailbox, because that's what we have. Limit per mailbox. I'm going to choose the sheet. It's going to be sheet 1. And I'm not going to have the single option. So when I say test, you'll see that we will get the 5 items. 5 items, just a blank display of 5. So we're making up a number called 5, so we can tell this to loop through 5 times. It's just a manual way of telling it. And it would be nice if there's a button in here that says loop through 5 times, but it just says how many batches do you want to send through. So we want to send through one batch at a time. how many batches they're going to be. There's going to be 5 batches. We're going to send this to through 5 times. And it's going to be 50 when it's in there next time. So we're going to do this. Email 1, email 2. What did I do there? Just show you how much attention I pay. And that should bring us up to the 10 and through here. And those will not go far through the rest. So let's run this one. And we just hit the save button first. YouTube, cold email. The only thing you need to do, and I'll add it later on for yourself, is add the timer to this. So let's give this a test. It should send this email 10 emails. So go back out here, and always nervous to do big batchy stuff, because as it goes wrong, you have the chance of sending a 50 batch out. So now it's in email 1 and email 2. It's going to wait 5 seconds. It's going to send email 3, email 4. Okay. See how it updates. Goes through. It's going to send through the next one. And we can see them coming in here as this goes along. All right. So number 4, it's done. And this should be the last run through. So all coming in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we wait for 9 and 10. 9 and 10's come through. There you go. All done and dusted. So yeah, does that make sense? I hope it does to everyone else. It's just how we want to limit the email. So you should come in here, add another mailbox. If you've got yourself 3 mailboxes, mix your mailboxes up between Gmail and Outlook, because they give better deliverability. If you're going to send Outlook to Outlook, it's going to be better. If you send Gmail to Gmail, it's going to be better. Make sure they are a bit warmed up and more mature mailboxes, more mature and warmed up. They say about 2 weeks. Mailboxes, domains as well. Make sure you check your words for spam words. Make sure you don't do more than 50 a day per mailbox. It means you can't use that mailbox for anything else really after. Make sure we set up a good timer here, even if you time this out to 2 minutes. So it just sends it out slowly throughout the day as you go along. And then we're going to limit it by just adding the limit through in here. So I will give you this one. And I will just add the timer in here. And this always happens. Triggers is gone. Add another trigger on schedule. So I'll add that one in for once a day after 9 a.m. All right. So that is it pretty much built out. And there you have it. A cold email system built by N8N is definitely off for a good start. Now, it does break a bunch of rules that helps you get into the inbox. You also need to pay close attention to these things in here, subject and how personalized it is. You need to pay attention to your opening line. I did the 3 AI super agents in regards to scraping and getting different results in here, but I just used this one to test. So think about that as well. Lots of things to think out and be mindful in here, but this is going to give you a good start. The only thing I highly suggest you pay for is at least some sort of scraping system. Okay, so you can get quite a good quality of leads somewhere. Last things last, always, as I said, go check out the paid community. Heaps of high level in here, heaps of voice AI stuff, AI agents, automations like this, vibe coding. I love this stuff right now. It instantly proper outbound system that actually sells stuff for me as we go. Email system, making offers, and then obviously, of course, we got the free version with some free stuff, but not as many cool stuff as in there. By the way, you get free Go High unlimited Go High Level accounts and a USA toll-free number to send text messages on as you want. So, but go look up the AI agency free resources if you need anything more and want the free stuff that I'm going to have here. So, hope you like this. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you find this educational. Hope you implement this function in here. So, talk to you all later.